This has been the best NBA Finals since 2021. It's not even close. I'm just trying to think about it. Over the past three NBA Finals series, there's usually an appeal with the first two games, but when it goes to the road, that's when things start to go a little bit downhill with the NBA Finals. Specifically, that series. Not saying the product is terrible as a whole. It's still bad. It's still bad. I saw my complaints about how ESPN is presenting the NBA Finals presentation. I have a problem with just the lack of an aura around it. But even though this finals is still really damn good, it has two top level players in the league, and the commentary team is really terrible. Like I had enough pretty much where I just completely muted the game. And Richard Jefferson sucks. Like he is one of the worst analysts out there. Um, he just repeatedly talks about things that just are super irrelevant to the conversation, and it's just getting really annoying. Where they've reduced Doris Burke's mic, where she's not even talking that much throughout the game, but Richard Jefferson just talks nonstop. And I'm just saying, it's a little bit of is there a little bit of sexism involved with ESPN? That's just what I'm seeing, man. That's just what I'm seeing. But anyways, great game though. Other than that, this was an amazing game. Um, it really felt like for me, it felt like a game where it can go either hand. Where OKC had one of their worst performing games as a team, where they turn over the ball multiple times throughout the game. I think it was roughly around. This is probably one of their worst performances as a team as a whole. Even though guys like Chet, J Dub, and SGA, but all three had 20 points. But you look at the bench, it combined for 12 points. Like the last game where Caruso and Aaron Wiggins, they both literally scored 20 points each. And that was the main reason why they won the game, including their defense, including the rebounding, second chance points, limiting turnovers, forcing turnovers on the other side, where a guy said, and the Pacers just completely struggled. So the game kind of flipped on that hand. I mean, the star players showed up for OKC, but you look at the bench, not very good from guys out there. And honestly, I think they still had their chances to win this game. They really did still have their chances to win this game. I'm gonna look at their statistical stats as a team. OKC actually had more rebounds than Indiana. It looked like Indiana actually. It must have been the fourth quarter where they started out rebounding because they started to get a lot more offensive rebounds, 9-7 offensive rebounds. OKC had 19 turnovers, which is their most throughout this entire postseason run. 16 assists to Indiana's 24 assists. Fast break points, 10 points for OKC. So not really running the ball a lot, which is fine. I mean, they're a more half court variant team with obviously SGA getting to the free throw line a lot, which is fine for that. They fouled 20 times. But it really felt like OKC still had their chances to win this game, and they blew it. And I think it's a large part has to do with how well Indiana played, but OKC still had their chances. I mean, they were in the bonus with at least 3 minutes left in the game, and there was like a 5-point game still in the fourth quarter, but could not score. Limited to 18 points, which is I think it's the lowest scoring quarter this entire NBA Finals so far. And this is from the team that has the MVP. So limited to scoring in the fourth quarter. Limited score in the fourth quarter. They missed a lot of free throws. As a team, I know they missed a lot of free throws. They went 23 of 30 from the free throw line. So if you just make your free throws, you win the game pretty much. I mean, Indiana won by 9 points, but it really felt like OKC still could have been the game if guys like J-Dub made his free throws because he went 7 for 11. Even SGA missed a couple of free throws, the easy free throws that he makes. I mean, he went 5 for 6. It was just J-Dub missing his free throws. Where, on the other hand, Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton had a much better game. I feel like this is by far, arguably his best game of the series. I think it might have been because his most efficient game so far, he shot 4 for 8 from 3, 11 assists to 4 turnovers. So that's roughly around 7 turnovers. 7 assists. Pretty good for him. Near triple-double for him. 9 rebounds, 11 assists, 22 points. Pascal Siakam, underrated as hell. 8 for 14 from the field. He missed both his threes, which clean looks. He just did not make shots. Plus 8 from the floor. highest plus minus on in the starting lineup. But when you look at the bench, where the bench really dictated this game for Indiana, I mean, Obi Toppin in the fourth quarter was playing really well. I mean, made some big rebounds. He has 6 rebounds. Really crucial offensive rebound to crash the glass to go for tip layups, tip dunk, tip slam. TJ McConnell was probably arguably the star of the game because he really set the momentum for Indiana, because Indiana was behind in the first quarter. OKC pretty much dominated. They were up by 8 in the first quarter, but then Indiana scores 40 points in the second quarter. TJ McConnell, I think he had 5 steals. Yeah, he had 5 steals. He had a lot more than I thought. He had a couple of inbound steals on Alex Caruso and those kind of stuff, and just big time plays for him. 3 for 8 from the field, but 4 for 4 from 3 from the field, free throw line. My bad. But TJ McConnell, really damn good game from him. Benedict Mathurin, I've hate on him all series. I'm still a Benedict Mathurin hater, even though he's a Canadian. I'm still a hater of him. He played well this game. He played very well this game. 9 for 12 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, 27 points, most points scored in this game for in the Pacers. Big time game from him. I'm still a hater of Benedict Mathurin. I'm not a fan of his play style, but I'll give him credit this game. He played very well this game. I will eat my words, but that's just me, man. But yeah, when your bench shows up like this and you can get some effort from your starting lineup, I mean, Miles Turner probably played his best game in the final so far. So from what I've seen, he's still not very good. I mean, he still was kind of unplayable certain portions of the game. Andrew Nemhard, he played pretty good defense on Shea. We'll get to the defense on Shea later on this video, but played pretty good defense. Made some crucial buckets in the end. Aaron Nesmith made a big time 3 where Mike Breen called bang on it. Yeah, just a really well effort adjustment from Indiana. And the main adjustment for this game is mainly throwing just different types of defenders on SGA. I think SGA's seen at least 8 different type of defenders this game. From the Pacers side, I know Pascal Siakam guarded him for certain portions of the game. Aaron Nesmith guarded for certain portions of the game. Andrew Nemhard guarded him for the majority of the game, where Andrew Nemhard did actually a really good job on SGA for certain portions of the game. Obi Toppin, he saw minutes on him. TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin, a bit of Thomas Bryant on him, a bit of Tyrese on him as well. Just multiple different types of bodies on SGA, making him difficult. You're not going to shut him down. Let me get that out of the way. You're not going to shut down a superstar level player that gets to the free throw line like Shea, who is very effective at getting to the free throw line, being the elite mid-range shooter that he already is. You want to force him to make 3-pointers, but I mean, he is capable of making 3-pointers, but he's not the super most high volume efficient 3-point shooter out there. So you want him to take more those shots, but he's still at 24 points, but he still played pretty well for the amount of times in the game. And only had 6 turnovers. Those are pretty bad turnovers he had, but you're not going to shut him down. That's the problem. Just throw different type of defenders on him. Lou Dort, man. Lou Dort made some crucial threes this game where I'm just like, I am really scared of this guy, bro, because he makes threes where it just does not look like it goes in, but it does because he has such a high arc. And he's pretty much made 4 for 5 from them. And his fifth 3, it felt like he actually was going to make that, but he just did not. And it's not because of the defense. He just missed 3 in this game. But yeah, Case and Wallace, not very effective this game that much. Yeah, and looking at the bench, like nobody was really that effective this game. I can see from like, Kendrick Williams. I mean, he only played 2 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein, I mean, he played fine. Caruso, he was the only decent guy off the bench. He had a minus 15, but that was when like plus minus differential is kind of flawed, but that was when like obviously TJ McConnell was in the game, Benedict Mathurin was in the game, Obi Toppin was in the game, even Pascal Siakam got some certain minutes in the game. Isaiah Joe, he made 2 threes. Not really unplayable outside of that. Aaron Wiggins, I mean, like I said before, he had 18 points he had 18 points last game, 0 points this game. No show this game from him, which sucks. I really like Aaron Wiggins, but yeah, man. Pacers side of things, played very well. First of all, first things first, get rid of Thomas Bryant's minutes. There's no reason that Thomas Bryant should be playing this game. I only played 3 minutes, but he was really bad the minutes he really played. where like OKC went on like a 6-0 run every single time he goes into the game. Like the Pacers would have a lead, and Thomas Bryant checks into the game. And I get it, it's to just rest certain guys, but like if you're gonna play 3 minutes, you might as well not play at all. You rather give your minutes to guys like Obi Toppin more, or even Pascal Siakam. And I've even said this last video, you should consider going more small ball to Pascal, because in the minutes that Miles Turner gets where he's not really effective, he's not the same player he was earlier rounds in the game. I mean, OKC's really limiting his production this entire series to where you really have to go small ball. I feel like your more small ball lineup is just more effective. Although Miles Turner has the 3-point shooting capability, he has a capability to be a good roll man. He's a capability to be a good screener, even though he had some pretty bad offensive illegal screens out there in the game. He's still capable as a good player out there, but OKC is really limiting his production to where you really got to go small ball at this point, because like Thomas Bryant minutes have just been so bad. He just fouls way too much. 2 fouls in 3 minutes, unacceptable for a guy like him who didn't even shoot the ball at all this game. He's just not a good NBA player. And I know you don't have any other good options to put at the center position out there. So if you're stuck in that situation, you just go small. And I know Rick Carlisle is capable of it. That's why he only played 3 minutes compared to what he played last game or the game before then, to where Rick Carlisle is obviously a good coach. I have discredited him from the past, but he is a damn good coach. He's a better coach than Mark Daigneault, in my personal opinion. I just feel like the certain adjustments he's made from games 1 to 3, big time from him, man. Limiting their bench production, forcing more bodies on SGA rather than having one body. I mean, I know guys got into foul trouble like Andrew Nemhard, and Aaron Nesmith. I mean, Aaron Nesmith had 6 fouls. Andrew Nemhard had 5 fouls. Obi Toppin had 3 fouls. I know they get into foul trouble a lot, but it's good that you're throwing multiple different bodies at SGA. They're gonna figure it out. They're obviously going to figure it out. That's the point of a playoff series. It's not just a one and done. Like, they're going to figure it out. So, OKC, I would not be surprised me at all where OKC just honestly tries to force a different matchup on SGA or a certain other guy. It would not surprise me at all that they make that simple adjustment in the next game. It would not surprise me that much at all. But, yeah, man. Big time game from Indiana. Best finals game we've gotten in such a long time. It's crazy. It's so crazy that like coming into this finals, people were so dismissive of it because of the teams and the names of it. People just dismissed Indiana's finals run to just discredit them and say, yeah, OKC's just gonna mollywop them. And yeah, they did mollywop them in Green Game 2, but it's not like they completely annihilated them like they did against Denver in games 2 and 7. Or Minnesota in like a few of their games, and even Memphis in the first game where they dropped 50 points. I'm telling you, Indiana was one of their worst matchups coming out of the Eastern Conference. I feel like they match up well against the Knicks, against the Cavs. Maybe the Cavs is kind of tough, but I still think they match up better against the Cavs because Tyrese is just such a super high dynamic playmaker, and Rick Carlisle is just a really dynamic coach with such an unpredictable game plan on the offensive end. And yet they've improved on the defensive end, where the Cavs do not have that well of a cape offensive game plan style compared to Indiana. That's why Indiana beat them in 5 games. And the way they beat them in 5 games, look at the Celtics. I know injuries hurt them, defending champs and so like that, but they had the right personnel to just throw the right matchup on Boston. And Boston, when their game plan style does not work, it's tough to beat them. I mean, it's tough for you to lose to them. You know, it's a very high variant play style. Obviously, it was led to a championship, but it just felt like their play style were very moderate. Like, if it does not work at times, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, it's capable. They have so many guys that are able to shoot the ball from 3 very well. Very great guys that can defend as well. But if that does not work, who are you going to rely on to get you guys going? I mean, you have to have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both go off. And with the Knicks personnel, with the amount of wing depth that they have, that they could throw multiple defenders at Tatum and Brown, that made them struggle. That's why they lost the series. And even though Tatum went down in game 4, they were still up by 10 with literally like 3 minutes left in the game before Tatum's Achilles injury. Yeah, Tatum's Achilles injury really demoralize the Celtics going into game 6, obviously. But just that factor, they were down 2-1. We're down 10 points with 4 minutes left in the game for a reason. And look at this Indiana team. It's like they've been able to just be the super high dynamic offensive team that we've been knowing them since Tyrese Halliburton has joined them. And they've improved on the defensive end. Sneakily going to get into the 4th seed where no one was talking about Indiana at all in the regular season. Like they were sneakily good. They're sneakily one of the best teams out there in the Eastern Conference, and no one was discussing how great they played to finish out the season. They have not lost 2 games in a row since March. And they're showing it again. They're showing it again. Now, it's not like OKC is completely out of it. They can still win the game, just decision making, limiting turnovers. Like this is not normal for them. Like they're not going to turn over the ball like that a lot. They are not a high turnover prone team compared to Indiana. Indiana still had 14 turnovers, but that's just the factor of you playing against one of the best defensive teams when you're one of the best offensive teams. It's just that simple. But limiting turnovers, really trying to make it tough. Obviously, Ben McMathern, I don't really see him having that super efficient game still, but obviously bench production has been the thing with Indiana all playoffs, so you really got to limit that as well. Obviously, you did a good job on, getting Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nemhard in foul trouble. That's a very good job for you to do on your end. But again, that bench production wise, I think it's 3-point shooting. OKC shot really well from 3. 10 for 22 is really good. Make your damn free throws, though. Make your damn free throws, especially J-Dub. Make your damn free throws. 7-11 from free throw is pretty bad. That's really damn bad. That is less than 70%, especially in a game. That's bad. When you get to the free throw line that much, you should be able to capitalize from your free throws and make them. But they did not this game. And you did your production from your 3 star players. All 3 star level of your players played well. I think they really stopped going to Chet down the stretch in the game, which I did not really like. I really liked how they were, dumping the ball to Chet, running the offense through Chet this game. I think that was the right utilization to use him in, because Chet was really effective and dominant in the first quarter, but then they stopped going to him. And they went to more SGA and J-Dub ISO heavy ball, which, really did. They made some really good backdoor cuts out there to Caruso, to J-Dub, to Isaiah Hartenstein, even to Chet multiple times throughout the game. They didn't really run that offense more. I wish that they ran that a little bit more than what they ran this game, but that's just a nitpick on my hand. I mean, I can't really overreact because OKC could still win game 4. They didn't lose because of just dumb mistakes, not some major mistakes, just some minor mistakes that they made. And Indiana, you got to give them credit, though. You got to give them credit. They played very well this game. And we have a game 4 on Friday. And it's either the lower seed team goes up 3-1, which Indiana has done all playoffs, or OKC ties the series up 2-2, and it guarantees us 2 more games in the NBA Finals, which is what I've been asking for such a long time. It's a great NBA Finals series, and we've gotten a great one so far. Better than NHL. Know what's funny? My coworkers out there in work just keep on glazing the NHL so much, saying, oh, this is the most all-time historic series so far. And then you get game 3 out there, which was a 6-1 Florida Panthers win. And that's bad. All right, that's even worse than an OKC Thunder blowout game. That's even worse. That's bad, bro. Because unlike OKC, the Panthers are just unlikable. I'm a Heat fan. The Panthers are unlikable. And on top of that, they already won. So nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. And NHL does not get as much viewership as the NBA Finals. Technically, they're saying this is the lowest rated finals since the bubble, but this has arguably been the best one. Even better than the bubble, my perspective, because the bubble had injuries. This series has had injuries. Like Tyrese Halliburton is dealing with a lower body injury, but he's playing through it, and there's no injuries outside of that. Everybody's playing. So you have that going on for you. You have the good product basketball we've gotten. We got the star level players playing well, and it's just leading to great basketball so far. The lower seed team is up 2-1 right now. Great. This is what we've been asking for. Now I know people are going to compare this to the 2022 finals where Golden State went down 2-1, but honestly, I kind of agree with that. But also, I feel like the productivity of the basketball we've gotten in the series has been better than that series because obviously game one came down to a Tyrese Halliburton game winning shot. We did not get that all in the 2022 series. Game three, where it was just a thriller level series. I think this game was a lot more closer than that series. I feel like the highest scoring margin of this game was not even 10 points. It was like 10, 9, 8, like that much. The Celtics series and the Warriors series, like the Celtics were up by like 20 points. And yeah, man, like it's just that. But great final series so far. Unfortunately, it's stuck on the worst broadcast out there so far, ESPN, ABC. That broadcast is actually really terrible. But and I really wish the NBA took my prayers up there and actually decide to switch it up in the future. You could still have ESPN, ABC be the like a primary broadcast for the final so far in the future. But you should honestly switch it up. Like I said with the NFL, they do that as well. Like they make NBC is covering the Super Bowl, then it's gonna be ABC, ESPN, I think next year, and then you have Fox, you have CBS, and you just rotate from that. I like that part of it. The problem with the new deal is that ESPN ABC is getting more content and they're just locked in to cover the conference finals, the NBA finals until 2036. So, and that product is just all about their money and marketing ads over their basketball. And look at NBC, where you have that, which they really love their sports. They really do love their sports, and you don't really utilize that even more. I know Disney's gonna get you paid a lot of money for that for sure, but it just really sucks that you're not able to do that. That's why I think Monday Night Football generally sucks compared to Sunday Night Football. That's why Sunday Night Football is covered on NBC rather than ABC, ESPN. I get MLB does ESPN Sunday Night Football, Sunday Night Baseball as well, but still though, just throw out more money and more bigger contract. But I don't know, man. I don't know about these contracts out there, negotiations for just broadcasting deals. But I know I complain about the broadcast all three finals, but that just goes you to show how bad ESPN really is, and it sucks, dude. It's the worst. It's literally the worst platform out there. I know it's the most popular one, but it's the worst platform out there to just broadcast sports. It genuinely is. It's terrible, dude. It's terrible. They don't have the right announcers. I'm not knocking Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke as people. I think they're great people out there. But with their chemistry with Mike Breen, who is not really the most dynamic personality out there, I think he's like the straight man archetype, which honestly, I am a film critic. I go into film. My favorite type of character is a straight man archetype who just they might be boring of individually on their own, but when there's just really crazy, chaotic characters around there, it makes them a really more dynamic personality to see how them express him as a character. That's my favorite type of characters out there in like reality TV shows or even just movies out there. I just really like the straight man archetype. And Mike Breen is kind of that, but he's not surrounded by good personalities out there. I mean, they're just not very good at their jobs. They're just relatively more annoying than good personalities out there. I mean, Mark Jackson out there said a nice catchphrase out there back then, which is just really fascinating. Jeff Van Gundy, the coach he is as well, really giving critique out there, really honest criticism out there when necessary as well. Great personalities out there. I know there's a bit of nostalgia involved with it. I don't think they were the best dynamic team, but again, they cover the NBA Finals. I feel like there's a little bit of bias towards that as well. They cover the finals since 2006, obviously. And yeah, man. But they were still better than what we currently have. And look at TNT. I know it's great inside the NBA, but TNT, like I said before, Reggie and Kevin Harlan, their dynamic is gonna really be missed because I don't really see a guy that just fits well with Kevin Harlan that well. I don't really see a guy that has that much personality out there that can fit well with Kevin Harlan's personality out there. You don't want someone that's really boring. I mean, Stan Van Gundy's fine, but he's just not really fit well with Harlan. I think Van Gundy would fit well more with probably, I don't know. I don't really know. It would have to be with not really like a guy like Harlan. I think you just need two guys that are just really engaged with them each other. But maybe, I don't know, man. I really don't know who Stan Van Gundy fits well with, but yeah, man. I keep covering that because there's really nothing else to talk about this game. I really discuss the majority part of this game, but I am super stoked. Like I said before, big news coming out later on this week. Um, Game 4 of the NBA Finals is going to be on Friday, so we have a 1-day break rather than a 2-day break. I work at 6 a.m. and I'm currently recording this, and it's 11:46. So I definitely got to go to bed, man. But I'm going to get this video out as soon as possible. It might not be the best edited video out there for sure, but you know me. I made my promise. I said I was going to continue to do this after game 2. This is the first time I've actually recorded a video live out there for game 3 post, and we're guaranteed to get a game 5. And we're probably going to get a game 6. I generally think that OKC might force a game 6 out there. Like they tied a series back 2-2. That's what I meant to say it. But um, it's a series out there. It is really a series. Game 4 is the biggest game of the series so far. It's gonna be the biggest game because it will really dictate where the series really goes. Like, I'm not saying OKC's not out of it. They're not out of it. But you do not really expect Indiana to just take control of this just right now. Me personally, I did not expect Indiana to go up 2-1 just like this. I not expect them to steal game 1 the way they did. I mean, they've done it all playoffs, but I'm not expecting it to, against the greatest defensive team, arguably of all time. But anything can happen in the NBA. It's very, really, really well appealed. It's not the most narrative liked, which obviously that's okay. It doesn't need to be narrative based every single time. I know I really like narrative based stuff in. I really just like storytelling in sports, but it doesn't always need to be that. As long as we get great basketball. And we've